Are you looking for the best tent for wind? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best tent on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Kelty Nightal 2-person backpacking tent. The first trade-off is in the tent poles. The DAC aluminum tent poles on the Dirt Motel tent have been swapped for standard aluminum poles. This goes some way to explaining the additional weight of the Kelty Nightal tent, sitting at 5 pounds 15 ounces compared to 4 pounds 13 ounces for the 2-person version of the Kelty Dirt Motel tent. There has also been a trade-off in the materials used, again adding weight to the tent. The tent is made of cheaper polyester materials rather than the Dirt Motel's nylon floor and ripstop nylon rainfly. Polyester might be cheaper and heavier, but the fly is also a little thicker, which should help with longevity. The rainfly is also a touch better waterproofed with an 1,800 mm hygrostatic head rating versus the Dirt Motel tent's 1,500 mm waterproof rating. Unfortunately, the Kelty Nightal's floor feels a little thin, and this translates to the floor having a waterproof rating of only 1,800 mm, 3,000 mm on the Dirt Motel. We would recommend picking up the additional footprint with this tent to avoid any tears due to rocks or tree roots. As per the Dirt Motel, the Nightal tent also suffers from ventilation issues with the rainfly on. We feel that this tent lies even further into the dead spot between camping and backpacking tents. Due to its weight, this tent could only be a backpacking tent for the most casual of backpackers and is best as a decent quality camping tent. All in all, you get the best quality materials from the Dirt Motel without much of a difference in value. Unless you're only using this tent for car camping, go with the Kelty Dirt Motel instead. At number 2. Kelty Dirt Motel 2/3 person backpacking tent. The Kelty Dirt Motel tent tops our list and comes in 2, 3, and 4-person models. These are updated versions of what was previously known as the Kelty TN2, TN3, and TN4, respectively. This tent is fairly lightweight, coming in at 4 pounds 13 ounces. Although, this is a slight dead spot for tent weights. The standard sacrifices in size and materials have been made to reduce the weight, but the tent isn't quite light enough to be classed as ultralight. Granted, many ultralight tents are significantly more expensive. But for all but the most hardcore backpackers, it's light and packs down super small in your backpack. It also provides excellent durability with high denier materials, a ripstop nylon rainfly and aluminum poles made by the market leader, DAC. The lightweight nature of this product means it will never be able to have enough material to stand up inside, but it's still fairly roomy. This is thanks to the shape not quite representing the classic dome shape. The tent instead extends at the ends, so you don't headbutt the walls as you wake up. We love what Kelty calls the stargazing fly. This is a rainfly that you can peel back and clip together, allowing you to easily lay back and gaze at the stars without the rainfly flapping about. The tent comes with 2 large doors on each side, a must-have feature. Single-door backpacking tents can be irritating if someone needs a bathroom break at night. Beside each of these doors is also a vestibule to help store your backpack, and there are small gear pockets inside for flashlights, sunglasses, and so on. As mentioned previously, it doesn't quite make it into the ultralight backpacking category. But, frankly, we would recommend brands such as Big Agnes, Nemo, MSR, and Marmot over Kelty if you're wanting high-quality ultralight tents and you're willing to pay the significant price required. The Big Agnes Copper Spur HVUL is the sensible step up if this is a concern for you. The 2 areas that the Dirt Motel disappoints a little are the waterproofing and the ventilation. It could do with a few more guidelines to keep the rain fly taut, as we would worry that strong winds could result in the rainfly sagging, allowing water to pool and eventually enter the tent. Don't get us wrong though, it will still do a great job in all but the worst 3-season weather, but the Big Agnes tent above is hardier. The ventilation offered by the rainfly is okay but not great. Of course, you could just pull up the rainfly a little to add some more ventilation, but if it's pouring and you're camping in a very humid place, there is a risk of condensation. For casual campers, these are not instant setup tents, so expect to spend a handful of minutes getting the poles through the fabric loops. Overall, the Dirt Motel provides excellent value for backpackers and campers alike. Although those who prefer to do more hardcore backpacking may be best suited to lighter and more waterproof tents like the Big Agnes Copper Spur HVUL. At number 3. Kelty Tallboy Tent, 4/6 person. This tent aims to provide the best camping experience by adding height. Unfortunately, we feel it misses the mark. The Kelty Tallboy features the usual drawbacks associated with budget tents. It has less durable fiberglass tent poles, a large pack size, it's heavy, it comes with just one door, and it has no vestibule. Unlike the other Kelty tents, this one also doesn't come with a full-length rainfly. Where the Tallboy falls short is its height. Despite being named Tallboy, it's not particularly high. The maximum center height of the tent is 70 inches on the 4-person model and 72 inches on the 6-person model. Given the sloping sides, it's difficult for anyone over 5'8" or so to walk around in this comfortably. If you're on camping trips and okay with models that have deprioritized weight and weatherproofing in place with tall, spacious, family-friendly tents, you're best looking elsewhere. We recommend the Eureka Copper Canyon LX as an alternative camp tent. Sure, it can only be used in fair weather conditions, but almost everyone can stand up in these. It provides plenty of comfort, and they come with loads of storage options. At number 4. Kelty Grand Mesa Backpacking Tent, 2/4 person. This Kelty tent is okay as a budget backpacking tent. It does come with aluminum poles, which is great to see. However, it suffers from a number of drawbacks. It only comes with one door and one vestibule. Granted, this door is on the end of the tent rather than the side, which makes it less likely that you'll have to crawl over someone to get out. We have a few concerns with the built quality of these tents and whether each guy line is doing its job. When set up, the rainfly touches the inside of the tent. This breaks the surface tension and can lead to rain leaking in. Technically, the Kelty Grand Mesa does come with more guy points which can fix this, but that requires buying additional guy lines and poles. And speaking of poles, the ones that come with the Grand Mesa feel pretty flimsy. These should be replaced with better ones as a priority. Annoyingly, the vestibule only opens halfway, which can make it difficult to crawl in and out of the Grand Mesa too. All in all, the Kelty Grand Mesa isn't a bad backpacking tent, it's just not a particularly great one either. If you do buy it, you'll need to invest in a footprint, new stakes, and additional guy ropes. And with that extra expense, you may as well go for better tents.